Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now we are happy that a large number of our young men and women in the military are coming back from harm's way in Iraq, back to their homes and to their families, and we hope that they get the care that they need after 7 years in the combat zone. However, we in the midst of the celebration, we really have to sober and to be more analytical. We went to a war for 7 years. That's 2 years or 2 to 3 years longer than the Second World War. As we leaving, the country is in ruins. There is no effective government. There is what is so close to tribal civil war, and there is no iota of democracy under these circumstances. Lots of our soldiers lost their lives there or came back wounded and handicapped psychologically and physically, and lots of Iraqi people have been sacrificed. And 50,000 men and women of our military will be stationed there. And this will make a duty on all Americans to call for a review of our book of foreign policy. We cannot keep a foreign policy that results in situations like that. And since the infamous speech of mission accomplished to now, it became very clear that mission is not accomplished. And the Iraqi people are divided even about whether they agree with the withdrawal or they disagree. We are not in a situation to analyze the pluses and minuses of this step, but definitely we should be in a situation to say foreign policy of the United States needs to be reviewed, and it needs to be driven by something more than triumphalism and the militaristic approach and using power to impose solutions and also to guarantee the oil at any expense, and to imagine that we know it all and we can impose a certain style of democracy whether the field is accepting it or not. There is a whole host of issues that needs to be readdressed. And I think that the role of American Muslims in that can be very crucial. We know that we have so many people who are real experts, Muslims and non-Muslims in the United States, but I am afraid that the policies are driven by people who claim that they are experts, and their expertise are very limited. And this have been obvious through different steps or missteps in Iraq. So I wish that some serious look to the situation, and I wish that we don't get engulfed in a hubla of celebration without knowing exactly what we did, where we are, and what we should do. We went there with no plan to exit and no plan to rebuild a country. The same mistakes of Afghanistan are repeated. The same way we are trying to impose what is called the peace negotiation on a fraction of the Palestinians. The whole foreign policy is based on this is the way we see it and this is the way we will impose it. But I am saying, and this is the way we lose it. We have to really live up to the seriousness of the position of the leading country of the world. America is the leader of the world, and leadership has greater responsibility than the rest of the world, and we should act in a very responsible way handling these issues. So this will be our message to our fellow Americans and our message to our government and to our representatives as well. And we hope the best for our country, and we hope that these mistakes will never be repeated in the future.